I get this question all the time. Amie, how do I know the person is actually emotionally available? You know, when you first start to date, the sparks fly, it's super exciting, but it doesn't mean that this person will be consistent throughout the relationship this way. It takes time for a person to reveal their true personalities and who they really are. So today I'm going to share with you 5 signs to look out for so that you know when somebody is emotionally available and worth a relationship. For more tips on how to take charge of your love life, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. So there is this thing called a honeymoon phase. Why? Because our bodies are pumping out hormones and chemicals that are creating some bonds and, creating lust for the other person. And it can really cloud our judgment. We can get really confused between the idea of love and lust. And lust is something that's short term that I consider the honeymoon phase. And love is something that really is a deep feeling, a deep level of intimacy with another person. And that requires emotional availability. So when I talk about emotional availability, number 1, I want you to look for somebody that listens and empathizes with your point of view. They're not trying to defend themselves every single time you share you're going through something or they're having some difficulties. And instead of gaslighting you, which is just spinning it and making you think that it's all your fault or making you think that you're crazy, right? Their goal is to understand you and understand your point of view so that they can empathize with you. They listen to understand rather than listen to defend. Even if they don't agree with you, they're still willing to understand your point of view. The second sign that shows a person's emotional availability is the fact that they are willing to express their feelings. I want to create a distinction between someone that is trauma dumping versus somebody that is emotionally expressing themselves, okay? So someone that's trauma dumping is going to feel like they're vulnerable and they're going to share all their problems and challenges, but they're not really sharing them to create a connection with you or create resolution. Instead, you kind of start feeling like you're a therapist, that you're trying to fix their problems, and they're not really there to help you either. It's mostly one-sided. On the other hand, a person that is emotionally being vulnerable and expressing their feelings, if there is a conflict that you're having with that person, they will approach a conflict with absolute transparency about their authentic feelings and emotions. And it is not there so that you can just listen and solve their problems. The reason why they're expressing their feelings is so that you can understand their point of view and that you can create a solution together. And while they have you hold space for them, they also hold space for you when you are expressing, and they're actually curious and considerate about asking you what's going on with how you feel. So that right there shows a lot of emotional availability. It's like a safe container for the two of you to share your emotions and your concerns. And the sentiment comes from a place of love rather than accusations. The third sign of a person that's emotionally available is that they attacked the conflict head on, and they are not aggressive. They are not yelling at you, bullying you. Instead, they're assertive. When something happens that they feel a boundary is crossed, instead of burying their emotions and hiding them from you, they have a short, directed conversation with you instead. And they say, okay, this hurts my feelings. This doesn't feel right. I think we need to talk about this. And it's not about mudslinging towards each other, right? It's not about trying to hurt the other person. They know that their partner can't read their minds. So they know that it's their responsibility to share how they feel to their partner and not make their partner guess. That is a true sign of emotional availability. Let's talk about sign number 4. They are not afraid to talk about future plans. And when they do talk about future plans, you actually see actions match words, right? that is a person that is invested in you. They are not fearful about, connecting with you in a deeper level and talking about the future. And when I say this, please be careful of the love bombers, because love bombers are people that will shower you with compliments and talk about the future and really manipulate you to believe that these things will happen, but you will not see action. So that's why I said, when they talk about the future with you, they don't deflect, they don't, change the subject, they're not scared about talking about the future, and they show it by following through with their promises. And the fifth sign is that they are working on or they are healed from their past relationships. And I say working on because I have to say, sometimes we think, okay, I'm healed from this past relationship, and all of a sudden you're in a relationship with someone or you're dating someone, and then something triggers from the past, right? And the recognition is powerful. However, what's really powerful is that they're willing to work with a helping professional to process those emotions so that it doesn't linger on and move into their present relationship. So you want somebody that is willing to do the work to heal themselves. It is not your job to fix, change, or alter the other person. No one goes into a relationship going, I'm going to go in a relationship to change you. And that wouldn't, if the shoe were on the other foot, you wouldn't like that, right? You wouldn't want somebody to come in to want to change you. So that's why it's important to date somebody that is emotionally healed or has the tools to cope so that they don't carry their emotional trauma into your relationship. And if they need help, they're willing and open to discuss it with you and willing to get help. I know I only shared 5 signs today. There are plenty more. What other signs do you feel show emotional availability? Go ahead and leave the comments below. And honestly, vulnerability is not an easy task. I struggle with it, right? It is an ongoing practice. And if you need support on just learning how to step into vulnerability and trust yourself and being able to connect with another person in a deep way, I'm here to support you. Please visit me at amiethedatingcoach.com. I have workshops and private coaching programs that are there to support you so that you can open your heart to love and heal and get what you deserve. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.